You are a fool to challenge a god!
This is what is known as a Super Saiyan that is essentially
Yerp, Zakashi here. We got this little showcase. We got the man of the Utopia trying to create his perfect world. We got Goku Black in the building. We got him Zenkai Awakened finally, because I had to collect the Z powers from the dual coins, the guild medal shop, that shop there, and the no, I did say both, the guild medal shop and the dual coin shop. And literally it was just hell. It wasn't hell, but it just took a while, obviously, because first I had to get him to 7 stars, then after that I obviously had to do all that long grind with the friendship and what you call it, just the play 100 time type thing. Like you play 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, friendship level 5. Like it's nuts. It's a long grind. And from what I've heard about Goku Black is that it's not worth me spending the chronos on, because I did do a video on how to the fastest way to Zenkai Awaken a unit, and obviously instead of getting them to friendship level 10, you would just spend the 300cc at that point, because it basically guarantees you getting Zenkai Awaken from there, because the Z power that you need, the Zenkai Awakening Z power you need, is very minuscule, so you just basically guarantee the Zenkai Awakening. But yeah, so far I'll give my overall opinion. He is a bit underwhelming. He could have been much better, but his art is definitely one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful, and it's by a while still. Like, art is amazing. The stat boost, it does make him much more usable, and I like that he's much more usable. I'm not gonna say like he's like A grade or Z rank or nothing high like that. Like, he's not amazing, trust me, but he has a lot of upgrades which like they just could have been so much better, and I'm gonna get into them. But for what I played with on this future team, obviously you see on this gameplay I got Rose and the transforming Trunks, but overall he could have just been so much better in certain things that he has. But let's get into it. So you can obviously see all the transformations on the right. I like doing my little beautiful animation and whatnot. But yeah, I'm actually gonna check the... Actually, I can't even do the 7-star thing because it was Zenkai Awakening to max as well. So I'm just going to talk about his Zenkai Awakening at level 1. So his strike attack is 190k and blast attack 219k, which is pretty good. It's not the best unit, like, but it makes him usable. In comparison to how he was before, it was actually disgusting, like disgustingly poor. So the upgrade is pretty good. Strike defense 141k. Blast defense 144k, critical 4.1k, and the key restore 2.5k. He carries 2 blast darts and they're just normal, and he has Saiyan and future tag, which you should know already. His strike and blast attacks don't do anything, they're just normal. His special move, 25% to blast damage received for 20 timer counts on hit, and it deals major impact damage. Those are the 2 things it does. His special skill, I'm not sure. Well, you can see from the upgrade, and if you don't have Zenkai Awakened then you'll know, but I'm not exactly sure if it changed, but I'm pretty sure it did change because it's adding a bit more. It looks like a lot more writing than what it was before. But it says 30% to own Vanishing Gorge. This is a special skill, by the way. Recovery for 15 timer counts. The following effects also occur depending on the number of timer counts elapsed from the battle start. 15 counts elapsed, 20% to blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. 25 counts elapsed. After 25 counts elapsed, 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, and 25% to own key recovery for 15 timer counts. So pretty cool buffs. Blast attacks is what makes Goku Black stand out. If you got blast arts, make sure you get them off of him. Like, you don't even want to be using the strike arts. If you can use the blast arts, go ahead. But obviously, you do what you can. Now let's go into his abilities. I'm actually going to start with his Zenkai ability. Now, just like the other ones, they obviously buff the tag that he normally buffs. So his Z ability buff future. So he's gonna buff future for his Zenkai ability, and they also usually do their color. So Goku Black's yellow, so it's buffing both yellow and future. So here it says 15% to base strike attack, 20% to base blast attack, 15% to base strike defense, and 20% to base blast defense. You can just see like everything's going towards his blast, just helping him out in that sense. Going towards his unique abilities, I'm pretty sure they're the same, but there's actually a second one which is different. It wasn't there before, but the first one is Utopia's beginning. That was there when since he came out, and it basically does 30% damage, extra damage to Tag Saiyan or Hybrid Saiyan, because you know Goku Black has his grudge against Trunks and Goku and Vegeta, so that makes sense. And then the second one, Proud Figure, 10% damage inflicted per defeated ally or enemy battle member when this character enters the battlefield. So you have a chance to get, considering there's 2 friends and 2 enemies before the game ends, you can actually get 40% extra damage for every defeated person on the battlefield, basically, which is actually pretty good. You get stronger as there's less people. That's actually very useful, but it does say effects reset after character switch, so I don't know if it like comes off or completely removes, or it just every time he switches in. I'm pretty sure when he switches in that he will get the 10%, so that's alright, I guess. I'm just gonna leave it at alright. I'm not gonna talk too much about that further. I don't feel like it's very amazing or anything, but this one here is probably the best thing that he has. Well, it's probably the biggest liability as well, because it says that he gets 35% to blast damage inflicted every time the character defeats an enemy. Now this could go very far left or very far right. Now that 35% blast damage that you can get, obviously there's 3 battle members, and if you defeat the 3rd one then the game's over. So the maximum you can get is 70% in total additional blast damage. Now if you do get that 70%, then that last battle member is probably going to get destroyed with like a few, like 2 blast arts or whatnot. It'll be nuts. But the fact that you have to destroy, you have to defeat the enemy just to get that buff, kind of makes it less amazing than it should be, because the chances are you're not always going to defeat someone with Goku Black, and unless you're aiming to do that, that literally throws off the whole game. Like, you shouldn't be focusing a certain death with a certain character, because that can switch the whole way you're playing and actually cause you to lose. I feel like that's a very big liability, but if it does happen, you'll actually benefit a lot. Even with just the first defeat, 35% extra blast damage is nuts, considering how Goku Black gets all these buffs anyway. So when I was playing this game, I was actually trying to defeat the enemies with Goku Black so I can get those buffs. But just seeing that it already isn't like the best thing. Like, you should just know that hearing the fact that you have to defeat someone just to get that buff isn't the best thing. They should probably just change it to like something like after a certain amount of time accounts you get that buff, and then that would be much better in my opinion. But yeah, besides from that, everything is pretty much the same. His main ability is the same, with the 50% below health you gain health, but if it's above 50% then you just do damage inflicted. But I think it's more 50% to damage inflicted for 20 time accounts. That's a lot. So yeah, that's good, but I just feel like he could have been a lot better. Putting him side by side to other units, you can just see how other Zenkai units, you can just see how much better they are in comparison to Goku Black here. Like Boo and Super Saiyan Goku and Beerus, them 3 specifically, they're nuts. Broly's amazing too, but I wouldn't say like 3 pedestals above Goku Black, or maybe like 1. And then Gohan is pretty good, like pretty good. I've seen like people don't really use him, because I feel like hybrid taints are not really the greatest thing, but they're my favorite team. So I'm working on getting Goku Black, and then I'm gonna drop this video for Goku Black. That's what I'm waiting for. But yeah, this is the last gameplay here, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's not what you expected, but gotta give my honest opinion on Goku Black. He could have been much better. They should have just made certain things much simpler. Like, they didn't have to do so much with the 35% damage. His main ability is good, but I feel like with his special skill, they could have just made it give you ki instead of the ki recovery thing. Like, there's a lot of small things for a Zenkai Awakening. It's like, you're making me still work for it after I've got the character. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Again, press subscribe button if you haven't already on this grind. Big next goal is 5,000 subscribers, but the next goal we're about to reach is 2,000, so you're going to want to be a part of the journey. I'll be always saying I'm going straight up. I'm not too fussed about likes, but definitely leave a comment. Like I said before, this is the last gameplay. Comments, I interact, I like to reply, I reply to everybody. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say for this video. For the third and final time, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. But besides from that, enjoy this last gameplay, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
You're done for! There! You scout!
It's time to put my strength to the test.
Get out of my sight! You cannot escape! It's over! Your glorious
So this is
You scout!
my vision for the world shall be realized.